'cause I don't wanna walk away. Yeah, I'm stuck.
Yo, what is poppin', YouTube fam? This is your boy J Money here, bringing you guys deck profile of the deck I took to my Friday night locals. Got second place with being Zoodiacs. Yes, that's right. I got second place with Zoodiacs, and the decks I played against were no slouch either. I played against Heroes, which is one of my losses actually. Dinosaurs won 2-0. Dragma Eldritch won 2-0. Dragma Vote was also 2-0. We went into top 4, and I played against Dragon Link. I won that 2-1, and lost in the finals to a Invoke Shadal player. Got 2-0'd. So there's that. But let's go ahead and take you guys into the deck profile, see my choices, see what the heck did I do to actually beat all these meta decks. All right, gents, starting off with the best normal summon in the game. Rapier, because it gives you access to Ram. If you already have stuff in your grave, you can send combo for your follow-ups. Not really too much to say there. I mean, it is still limited. If anything in this deck were to come back, I think this card would have to come back to 2 before Broad Bowl comes back. If this comes back to 2 though, then the Tri-Brigade build might actually be like really good. Just with that one rat, because rat plus Chalkanine gives you the instant link 2 for the Tri-Brigades, which is like really good because it means you don't have to search and dig for extenders to make it and still be able to keep Dryden on board. 3, the second best normal summon, Thoroughblades, because it gets the other zoos out of your hand that aren't Whiptail and draws you into hand traps and trap cards and stuff like that. Not too much to say there. 3 Ram, your third best. I mean, maybe it's the second best because it is a card that enables you to make Mega Clops turn 1 if you really need to. Going second, of course, and it allows you to grind and stuff like that. It doesn't like dig, but it lets you ground. Maybe it's the second best. I don't know. Maybe it's tied with Thoroughblade. 3 copies of Whiptail, of course. This card is absurd. This is part of the reason why Eldritch just immediately loses, because you can't keep Golden Lord on the field or else it'll just get banished. So these are all the Zoodiac monsters. There's not really too much. You should realistically be able to see 1 every opening hand, especially when you have 3 Tinkies. So there is that. Now on to some go second stuff. This is, I think, MVP of the whole day on Friday. Ancient Warrior Loyal, oh man, I'm gonna butcher these names, but this Ancient Warrior is a Cyber Dragon. If your opponent is the only one to control monsters, you can stress summon this card. That is not once per turn. So if you open multiples, and they, I guess, negate and destroy the first one, you can drop the second one. So it has another effect to where if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, so your opponent has to have 2 monsters for this to actually be able to use the second effect. But you can target a monster on the field and destroy it. As simple as that. It's level 7, it's 2500, so it's kind of like a Pinkertops, except it's slower. It's a Beast Warrior, and it's got synergy with other cards that I will end up showing you in just a moment. Double Ghost Ogre. This card actually kind of, it either underperformed or it overperformed. It was kind of just in the middle. But with Phantom Rage coming, this card is definitely going to probably get swapped for Ghost Spell. So yeah, there's that. We got Double Ash. I've inherited this. If you're going to play a lot of hand traps, I've inherited the idea of if it's a hard once per turn, I just play 2. But if it's not a hard once per turn, then I'll play 3. So 3 effect Veilers and also triple infinite impermanence. I play 3 of these because, again, these aren't once per turn, so if I open multiples, I can drop them both. You know, I can drop them all. As many as I got in my hand. With these, you kind of can't. So, what, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These Ancient Warriors were other hand traps. They were Nibiru's. I kind of didn't miss them. I was just like, you know, because for the longest time I had the Nibiru's, they either weren't live, or when they were live, I had set up anyway, so it just kind of didn't matter. So I replaced it with things that can help me further assist in breaking boards, and it showed out. So that's it for the monsters. I don't know if this is the best spell. One, I hardly saw it, but it really didn't matter all that much when I didn't see it, because as long as you can just keep Zoodiac monsters in circulation, you kind of don't need Barrage, but Barrage is still good. I mean, you still play it. Yes, triple tanky. This card is nice because, well, it gives you access to Zoodiacs. It gives you access to the Rapier, the 1 copy of Rapier. It doesn't give you access to the Ancient Warrior though, because it's only level 4 lower access. Triple Pot of Avarice. I know a lot of Zoo decks play 2, but there's I think 1 game I saw multiples and it wasn't good. There have been a couple games where I see 2 and it was still good, because the first one would get negated and I'll just activate the second one. The one time this wasn't good was I just didn't have any Zoodiac monsters. This card literally just says you get to grind forever, and you get to draw into hand traps in the process. That's it for this spell, guys. I do not play Desires. I absolutely cannot bring myself to play Desires in this deck. Too many one-ups. I do not want to ban a Zoodiac combo. Or Rapier. Or, even if none of those is the case, I do not want to banish 2 copies of Whiptail. That happens. Oh man, no. Just no. Just don't. I wouldn't do it. I personally wouldn't do it. Y'all can, but I ain't doing it. But clearly, I mean, I got 2nd place. I beat all the meta. Clearly, I don't need it. But, you know, Zoodiac combo, again, allows you to grind. And if you draw it, it's really nice because you can just equip Whiptails from the deck. So yeah, it's pretty nice. Alright, triple Solemn Strike. I played Strikes because they allow me to play into a board. And enable, you know, just in order for me to resolve a certain card. And I'll get to it in a second, so. Yeah, Triple Judgment. If I had another generic counter trap that stopped monster effects, I would be playing that instead. So, but I don't, so I guess this is the next best thing. It stops spells and traps, which is kind of important because Zoodiacs do kind of lose spells and traps because they have absolutely nothing to stop them, so yeah. And the tech trap of the day that I've been playing for a while has been Gozen Match, because this card wins games, period. Attribute locking your opponent is very, very strong. In a deck like Infernoble and Dragon Link, which is primarily Dragon and primarily Warriors, like, they have to be able to switch up attributes at some point. A Dragon Link player cannot keep Darks on the field forever. Like, they have primarily Darks, but they need to make Romulus. They need to go for Phalanx. They need to make Needlefiber. They need to make Link Cross. Now, granted, they can, if they want to try to get the Levianeer, they can, but, you know, based on all the hand traps you've seen, all the Solemns you've seen, that Levianeer is either A, not getting to his hand, or B, not resolving. Or both. So, you know, good luck with that. Good luck actually getting Levianeer off. But with this card, and it keeps Infernobles in check too, because yeah, you get Fire Warriors, Space Connectors, Dolphins, and all that stuff, whatever. But when it's time for you to want to go into his old, being a light monster, you're kind of SOL. So you're kind of stuck. you're stuck in a lot of places. You would think it's not a big deal, but it really is a big deal. Even dinosaurs. If they summon Oviraptor and you flip this over, there's no Conductor Tyranno, there's no Archosaur, there's no Giant Rex, there's no nothing. Because they're all like different attributes. There's Earths, Darks, Fires, Lights, like all the different colors of the rainbow. This hits every deck. It hits every deck. And it slows them down just enough for Zoodiacs to really just get in there. So, alright, on to the extra deck. Best card in the extra deck. This card just auto wins against Eldritch, just straight out. It just flat out wins against any Eldritch based build because you pop all of their Hawk Heroes and Conquistadors. They'll never summon, so you'll never get disrupted. So I did that online and I did it IRL versus the Eldritch Dragma player, and yeah, it was just the same thing. Just kept all the materials, didn't really care too much. You flip Conquistador, sure. Chain Sanguine, okay. Trident, pop the Conquistador. You can have your Golden Lord, but you know I got Whiptail. I can just banish it too. So like that, like it's so free. It's so free. Oh man, 3 Chakanines, your second best extra deck monster. It's not once per turn. It's a soft once per turn, meaning you need to summon it. You need to remove from the field, summon it again, and put materials under it. You know, you can only summon these bad boys by their own effect once per turn. But you have Mega Clops, you have Ram, you have Tiger Motor to put materials back under it. Yeah. Or you can just overlay 2 level 4s to make it. So that's another way you can make more than one. Triple Tiger Mortar. I actually go into this a lot because I'm always... This deck is kind of like a slow burn unless you have the specific cards you need. Unless you have like access to Ram, you're slow burning your opponent, so you're really slow grinding with Tiger Mortars and Tridents more often than not. You know, they're killing one of them, so you're going to make Chakanine. You're probably going to have to resummon Trident because that's likely the one they kill. You summon Tiger Mortar, you put another material under it. You know, summon your Hammer Kong. You play 2 of them. Because, yeah, it's good. It makes it to where they can't target your other Zoodiacs with card effects as long as you got a material. You have to detach every end phase, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it's still worth it at the end of the day. 2 Borbos. I know a lot of folks play 1, but honestly, the bridge is always nice. Being able to just just generate an extra material for like Chakanine or something if you don't want to get rid of Thoroughblade or Whiptail because you want to keep your Trident kind of beefy. This is just the way to do it. So there's nothing too much to say there. 1 Mega Clops because it's really good. If you go into this thing, it's very hard to lose unless you're playing against like Eldritch. But again, I've said before, that's free. Conquistador is not resolving. Trident's gonna pop it every time. Against other decks, like this Buster Blader deck I played against today, actually, it was kind of eh. It kind of ruined me a little bit. Like, that's the first time playing against that deck, but hey man, it is what it is. Yeah, not too much to say there. Armored B, Drill Driver, it's a Gaia Charger. You know, you slap it on a rank 4 and you do piercing, and if it dies, you just summon back any of your level 5 or lower monsters from your graveyard. Emerald, I think I went into it once. In practice, it's really good. If you could XC summon with the monster summon of Chakanine, I would make this a lot more. But as for now, this is essentially expendable. It's a free spot. And the last spot, Ancient Warriors. Oh, the Double Dragon Lords. This card. Every time I saw the Ancient Warriors main deck monster and I summoned it, and I put my opponent under pressure, it's immediately followed up with this thing. This takes 2 Beast Warriors, including a Wind Ancient Warrior, which is what the when we play qualifies as. So the reason why this is so good, if this card is linked summon, you can add an Ancient Warriors card from your deck to your hand. So yeah, you just fetch another one. That's not a big deal. But the big deal on this one is you can send any card from your hand or field to the graveyard to target a card your face-up card your opponent controls and just bounce it. So it is essentially a Trident that bounces instead of destroys, at the cost of just sending cards from your hand or field, like literally useless cards, like face-up 10 keys and stuff. Like if your opponent's deck isn't too affected by Gozen Match, just send the Gozen Match. Like you, even if like you just have like these lone Zoodiac XCs on the field that just summon with Chalk and Eye, but you've already summoned Tiger Motor, you just have just the loose monster there, literally just as a target to send for this and just bounce an opponent's card. It's a quick effect during both players' turns, so you can summon it on your turn and further help break a board, and then on the following turn you have its effect live again and you can just continue disrupting for no reason. So this card is amazing. I'm going to continue to play it. Even when Tri-Brigades come out, I'm going to likely test Tri-Brigades with this deck, and I think the Ancient Warrior Link will still be a mainstay because it literally just offers you disruption for free. Side deck, we sided one Pank Boy and 2 Kaijus. It was going 3 Kaijus. I wanted to basically guarantee that I out the Buster Lock, but with Pankratops, I figured that I was probably going to play against more like Dragma based things, like more like things that had annoying back row, and I was kind of correct there. So just the fact that you can go into battle phase, threaten something, and then tribute it off and threaten something else in one fell swoop really helps. Triple Draw Lockbird. This was a last minute side deck choice. It really came in against Dragon Link, that's for sure. So, you know, they Chaos Space, or he summoned Seafort and he searched Black Dragon and I drolled, so just like no Lance, no Boot Sector, yeah, no White Dragon, no nothing. Like he wasn't like Joel put in work. Cosmic Cyclones, this came in. I was thinking, man, the one thing this deck struggles against is back row decks. Like decks that just set a lot of cards because Dryden can only hit face ups, right? Like Dryden can't hit face downs, and Megaclops is also vulnerable to back row because it's only unaffected by monsters that aren't XCs. So, you know, I needed more ways to remove back row. I don't own Lightning Storms, so nor do I own Feather Duster. But my thing is, I wanted the quick effects. I wanted them to be quick plays because I don't want to lose to Schism. I don't want to just activate Feather Duster and then they go chain Schism. Cyclone is just one of the cards that I'm holding on to when I know my opponent's playing like Dragma, but if they aren't, then I'll just hold it for like their Eldritch cards, like Conquistador or Hakiero. Again, just more ways that this deck just doesn't lose to that deck. 3 Mystic Mines. I sided this in a lot, never saw it once. But one of these days I'll see it, and I'll just immediately win games when I resolve it. So, it'll stay. It'll stay right here for those Dragon Link decks. If I don't draw a Kaiju and the Buster Lock and all that, at the very least I can threaten my opponent with the Ancient Warrior and a normal summon, and kind of put all that under threat, you know, bait all their negates and throw Mystic Mine down. Very good side deck card. Dimension Shifter. This card ends turns for a lot of players. Infernobles, Dragon Link, even Dinosaurs. It just ends their turn. They can't afford to not have things in their graveyard. Zoodiac can go a turn without having this in their graveyard, but if you drop this, you better make damn sure, like 110% sure, that your Dryden is not going anywhere. You know, you better have like 3 hand traps, you better have Solemn Judgment, you better have that Dryden on lockdown if you drop this card. Sometimes I'll even, if I know I'm going first, I'll sometimes even side this and just drop it. and force my opponent to pass their turn. And I have dried it on board. You know, if anything, it forces them to play into the Dimension Shifter just to get rid of the Dryden if they really want to get rid of it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, DD Macrocosmos Sig for a full turn is GG no re most of the time. So, that is the deck profile, guys. Alright, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed that. Remember, guys, Rogue will never go meta. Meta will always go Rogue. So, with that being said, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below regarding Zoodiac. Are there any tech choices that you are personally playing that I didn't? You know, a lot of you will probably say Desires. Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of person. So, it's not a neg 9, it's just in a deck like Zoodiac. No, too many important cards you don't want to banish. But anyway, that's my thoughts, so leave yours down below. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Money, and I am signing off.